This is episode 56, How to Turn Chaos into Cosmos with These Three Things. Welcome to Alive by Design. My name is Blake Mallon, and we're here to bring you inspiring people, principles, and practices to help you wake up, move toward your meant to, and feel fully alive. Open your mind and let's dive in. Hey guys, before you listen to the podcast, I just want to drop in and say I appreciate you for being here, and I'm super excited about this new Walk With Me series. These are solo episodes where I take some time in the middle of my morning run through the Santa Monica Mountains to share some inspired ideas and thoughts on my mind and heart. If you want to join me for any of these conversations live, you can catch me many mornings on my Facebook page, facebook.com/BlakeMallon.page. Would love to see you there. Love you guys. Enjoy the episode. Walk with me for a few minutes. Man, it's crazy right now. Crazy. That's probably the best word I can use to describe what we're all in the middle of. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Just the energy into the election, through the election, around the election, after the election. I don't know. What word would you use to describe what we're in the middle of right now? Crazy. Watching the social media flurry feels like we're in a new age gang war. Oh man, social media gang war. I don't think I've ever seen so many negative memes, comments, posts, polarizing opinions, emotionally charged replies to people that are close to us, to people that we don't even know. Ever. Have you? Crazy. And I understand why, and I'm not going to get on a total political rant, but I am going to get on a human rant, if that's okay with y'all. And I understand why. We can be sympathetic and empathetic to it. It's a tough time, and there is a lot of emotion wrapped up to the decisions that are being made, the actions that are being taken. And if we really get to the bottom of it, unpack why, it has to do with everybody's belief of what may happen in the future as a consequence of all of the decisions that are being made right now and the outcomes that are happening right now. And you guys, when we start to project, doesn't matter who we are, doesn't matter what the situation, whenever we find ourselves in a scenario where we start looking into the future and pretending to play psychic, meaning pretending to create in our own mind what we think scenarios can and will become, and often when we play that game, we stoop into not only the scenarios that can happen, but the negative possibilities. And we get into this cycle sometimes where negative creates more negative, and all of a sudden we get into this fear loop of all the catastrophe, all the potential problems, issues, consequences in every direction that could be in our future and the future of those around us because of what's happening right now. And you guys, that's a natural thing. It's something we all do. But if we're willing to be honest with ourselves, I think whenever we get into that state of playing psychic, casting into the future, projecting what could happen, and getting sucked into all the negative possibilities, it can be crippling. And that's what leads to a lot of the stress, the angst, the anxiety, the anger, the emotions that are happening right now. And I just want to throw a reminder to everybody, and it's just as much a reminder to you as it is to me reminding myself right now, that everything in our life and everything that happens can fall into one of two buckets. Things we can control and things we can't control. And that's it. There's no third bucket. There's things that are totally within our ability to control for ourselves, and there's things, no matter how much we wish or want or pray or try, are just not and will never be. And the giant irony of that realization is the more that we try to control the things that just are outside our control, the less in control we really are. And if we really want to be in control of ourselves, in control of our life, and therefore in control of our emotional responses, the way we feel, our own peace of mind, our own joy, our own happiness, we got to stay in the bucket of things we can't control, which is obviously easier said than done. But I think now more than ever, it's an important reminder. So during this time of chaos, craziness, I just want to highlight three things that are within all of our control right now that might help you, might help us, might help the world right now. So before I go into the three things, I want to know who's by my side. It's a beautiful day out here, Santa Monica Mountains, Pacific Palisades down there. So three things that are within our control right now. Number one, we all have the ability to control our input. You guys, that's within our control right now. So often, right now, we are allowing things into our mind, right? Things we're watching, reading, looking at, scrolling through. Obviously, media being the largest culprit, television, news, and the social media flurry that is happening all over the place. And you guys, that is all input we are choosing to take in. There's nobody forcing us to do that. The television doesn't chase us around and jump in front of our eyes and put the channel on, right? Social media doesn't fly out of our phone and swarm us, right? Those are all choices that we make. We are choosing what we watch, choosing what we listen to, choosing what we scroll through, choosing who we follow, choosing how much time we spend, choosing, right, what we read. That is our choice. And you got to recognize that and take responsibility for that and ask yourself the question, if you right now are allowing input that is triggering you, meaning you causing emotions that you don't like, maybe causing responses that aren't really you, maybe causing you to think or even do things that you regret almost the moment after. Guys, that's not healthy. It's not good. Anything that triggers an emotion automatically that you don't like, anything that triggers a response or an action right through you that isn't who you want to be and the person you want to represent, and something you feel, guilt over the minute you do, is not good. And it's not worth the input. Guys, there's a way to get informed these days where you can get the facts without the hyperbole. You can get the details without the propaganda. You can get the updates without the polarizing opinions. And if it's affecting you right now, you got to take responsibility. You can't control what they are saying. You can't control the newscaster. You can't control the content they're putting out. They all have their own reasons and agendas. You can't control what other people are saying, but sure as heck, you can control whether you allow that into your space or not. That is up to you. And if it's triggering you, you got to recognize you got to manage your input. What do you need to reduce? What do you need to minimize? What do you need to eliminate or turn off completely, even for a time being? And that's a literal question. It's easy. Turn it off. You'll find you have more time in a day, and you also have a lot more emotional energy in a day when you don't allow input into you that triggers negative emotions. And you guys, that is within our control. So the first thing we can do is we can control our input. That is our responsibility. That is within our power and in our strength. And that is something you can choose to do immediately. Immediately. And you don't have to do it by putting your head in the sand like an ostrich or running away or living on the moon or pretending like nothing's going on. Again, there's ways to get the facts. There's ways to get the facts without the propaganda. So the first thing within our control, which is a great reminder now more than ever, is control your input. How many of you right now would agree that you are allowing things into your space that are triggering either negative emotional response or even negative behavior or action that's worth maybe taking some time to manage your input? If so, make a decision right now and take an action right now. It can happen and change immediately and have an effect immediately. Second thing, number two, second thing that we can control right now. We can control our output. And by our output, I mean what we are choosing to put out into the world. And when I say out into the world, that can be through our conversations with our friends and family and loved ones or peers. That can be through our content and what we're choosing to post on our own social media. That can be in our commentary if we're choosing to engage or interact. Any way by which you choose to communicate with another person, that is within your control. You're not Pinocchio. Nobody's pulling the strings. You're not a puppet. Nobody's making your mouth move. Nobody's sitting there forcing your hands to type that on Facebook or Instagram or hit that reply button. Nobody is forcing you to do that. That is within your control. And we got to take responsibility that our output is within our control. And I only share that to highlight the fact that right now, maybe more than ever, why don't we manage our output so we don't become a trigger for somebody else? Guys, why put something out into the world right now with an intention to create a negative charge or negative energy or a negative response? Right? Yes, speak for what you believe. Stand up for your value system, right? But guys, approach it with a positive intent. And I just challenge us not to put things into the world that are reducing, demeaning, judging, right? Negative, because there's no good that's going to come from that. It accomplishes nothing when it comes to progress. So we got to manage our output, and that is within our control. That's in our total responsibility. And I ask all of us to maybe put a little bit of a filter on what we choose to communicate with others and make sure it's coming from a place, guys, that's going to add value, that's going to build up, that's going to be a part of progress and not designed to create further polarization or further negativity or poke or prod to create a negative charge in somebody else. It's within our control. Quick check-in. How many of us maybe need to manage our output a little bit right now? And number three, last one I want to share, okay? Within our control. Right now, we can control how we can be part of the solution. You guys, let's be straight. Change is needed. There wouldn't be so much turmoil right now and so much energy if there wasn't a need for change. You guys, change is always needed. We should always be pursuing better. We should always be trying to improve. There's always things that, right, can be done. That's the nature of everything. And right now, we need change. I'm not going to dispute that. But guys, the best way to create the change is to be a part of the solution. Right? I think it was the famous Mother Teresa quote, right? Be the change you wish to see in the world. In other words, lead through your actions and your example, not through your rhetoric, right? And definitely not through your social media posts or your political commentary. You guys, get in the ring. Be a player on the field. How can you, through your actions, be a part of a solution that you are passionate about? Right now, if you want change, if you're passionate about a certain topic, about a certain organization, about a certain issue, about a certain scenario, how can you right now, through your actions, make a direct and immediate impact? You guys, there's a million ways to do it. Maybe right now you are already a part of a organization or a company, right, that you're working for or with or own, that already is part of a solution people need right now. Well, how do you do more of that? How can you scale and grow and put more energy into the lane you're already running in to reach out and impact more people and meet more needs right now? How can you do it? That's an immediate and effective impact to be a part of a solution, right? If you're not a part of something right now, maybe you got an idea in your mind to create something. You guys, more solutions right now are being created than ever before. Innovation and entrepreneurship, right? Because of the creativity that goes into it is what is needed right now and what's going to be a part of getting us to where we need to go. It's people that are turning their passion, right, into something that can go make an impact. So if you have an idea, go create, go start that thing, right? Go create that idea. Go build that business. Go write that book. Go start that podcast. Go start that YouTube channel. Go start that company. Go build that brand. Go create something that can be part of a solution right now. Go do it. Go do it. God knows the world needs it. Go do it. Or maybe you want to take the service route and contribution. What's an organization, a nonprofit, a charity, right? A contribution group that you can lock arms with and go donate some time in an area that you're passionate about. Go do it. Go do it. And you guys, these are all big ideas and these are all things you can all do, but it doesn't have to be big. It can start with just a small, simple action. It can start with just helping one person. If you're passionate about, again, a certain topic, who's one person that's struggling in that area that you can go help? And you guys, help can be something as simple as being there for them, giving them a smile, telling them you care, right? Picking them up, telling them they mean something, showing them they're enough. Guys, little things can go a long way, and don't underestimate the power of everybody being a part of a solution and even a single person's life every single day. For guys, that's the way change gets created. It's not always from the top down and the big idea. It's from the bottom up. It's from people willing to be a part of the solution. You guys, someone asked me the other day, they're like, Blake, you never really are complaining about, the politics or the issues. And it's true, I stay out of a lot of that conversation. And they said, why? I said, well, I just refuse to complain about something that I'm not willing to directly change. And that's it, guys. If you want change, you can't complain about it unless you're willing to do something directly to change it. Sitting on the sidelines and being a fan in the stands and booing at the team who's on the field trying doesn't help anybody. There's never been a statue erected to a critic. You got to get on the field. You got to play. And that's totally within our control right now, is how can you be a part of change at any level, even if it comes down to helping one person that you can reach out to today feel a little better about themselves in the direction because of the action that you're able to take. So guys, 3 things real simple within our control. We can control our input, we can control our output, and we can control the actions we take to actually be a part of a solution we're passionate about. And my challenge to all of us right now is, yes, there's a ton outside of our control. And you know what? No matter how much energy you put into it or how many posts you write or read or comment on, it's not going to move it into the bucket that we can control. It's not. But there's plenty in the bucket we can control that can make a difference. And that's where your time, your talent, your energy, your gifts, every single one of you all have them, need to be directing your life, in my opinion, to make an impact right now. So guys, there's some thoughts this morning as we just watch the craziness we're in the middle of right now. Take a deep breath. You're here, right? The world's still spinning. You're still breathing. Everything, guys, is on a path to better. But sometimes you got to go through the valley and go through the obstacle and go through the challenges in order to really break through. And maybe that's the season we're in right now. And maybe this is the season to allow you to make the shift to focus on things you can control to make a difference. Until next time we walk together, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. And let's stay in the bucket that we can control and do what we can to be a part of the solution the world needs right now. Take care, everybody.
Hey guys, one last thing. I'm super excited that this new podcast, Alive by Design, just went live. You see, I designed the show to bring you inspired thoughts and fascinating conversations with the world's most impactful people, to provide transformative principles and practices to help you wake up, move toward your meant to, and feel fully alive. And I'd love for you to help me spread the word now. Simply subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on this platform right now. So if I've ever given you value, please do me this personal favor and go subscribe now. And if you found today's episode helpful in any way, make sure you share this with at least one friend today. You have the power right now to change someone's day. So send them a text message with a link to alivebydesign.com, or simply copy and paste the link right from this podcast platform. Who's one person you know right now that you want to see succeed, that you want to see grow, that you want to see feel more alive? Shoot them a text with your largest takeaway from today and be a light in their day. And if you were referred here by a friend, make sure you shoot them a text back and say thank you. I'd love to hear from you directly on what you got from today's podcast. So if you're up for it, drop by my Instagram @BlakeMallon and shoot me a DM. And as always, thank you for showing up. I'm grateful for you, and I hope our time together today in some small way helped you feel a little more alive. Until next time.